What makes my channel any different than the 1,000 other outdoor channels that are on YouTube? First of all, I have 50 years of experience in the great outdoors. I'm in the process of putting it all down on video so that I can share it. I love sharing my adventures. Second, I have 150 square miles of raw wilderness around this cabin. I'm doing this video on the inside of this cabin so that you can get a feel for the lifestyle that I have here. And second, I have another cabin 5 miles behind this one. It's my bush cabin. It's a lot rougher than this one, but it does work. The only way into it is by boat or canoe, and I do a lot of hunting out in that area. So that's some of the stuff that I'll be adding to the channel as we go along. I'm in the process of rebuilding that cabin right now, making it more comfortable. But it is, you can still stay there now. It's not that you couldn't stay there. You can. Well, good morning. My name is Tom. I come to you from northern Maine. I'm here today. I've had a boat given to me. It's a 14-foot aluminum. I believe it's a Starcraft. It's an older boat, I would say back in the early 70s. The only deal is it's a free boat. It's 14 feet, doesn't leak. It's full of water, so obviously it doesn't leak. But it's full of crap. I'll show you here in a minute. Somebody had used it as a dumpster for the last 20 or so years, I guess. So the deal is, if I take the crap with me, I can have the boat. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Aluminum boats like this, just like money in the bank. You don't have to do anything to them, except keep a coat of paint on them every once in a while, and you don't even have to do that. And you can have a boat for 20, 30, 40 years or longer. So keep that in mind if you see an old crappy boat on the side of the road. This one's free for the taking. Looks like the last time it was registered was in 1981. But look at the sides on that boat. That is a nice looking aluminum boat. I would be able to use this for deer hunting and moseying around up in my swamp behind the cabin. Lots and lots of things I can do with a boat like this, as well as leave it down here on the side of the lake during white perch season. White perch isn't too far offshore, so this would be a perfect boat to have waiting for me. Just jump in, go out, catch a few perch, and then head back to the cabin. The only problem that I see with this boat is that duck birdhouse there. I can see yellow jackets flying in and out of it. So there's a bee's nest in that one. So I'm just going to plug the hole, I think, and then go get some wasp spray, kill them, because I would like to install that duck box up in the swamp. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it, so might as well put it back into service. So it looks like I'll get a couple of things out of this boat. I also think I can see a kayak paddle down in the bottom, so I might be able to get a duck box, a boat, and a kayak paddle. And who knows what else is in this boatload of garbage for free. A country boy will survive. And here's one of the things that we do to here's one of the things that we do to survive. We find things like this and we put them back into service. No fuss, no muss, no cost. Just a great piece of equipment for the cabin. New boat back at the cabin. That is a very nice boat. I hadn't seen the bottom because it was full of crap and full of water. But it is a very nice boat. Good morning. Coming to you from northern Maine. This is the boat that I dragged home yesterday. As you can see, it's not a bad looking boat once it's all cleaned out. As we said yesterday, the deal was if I took the crap with it, then it would be free. So what I'm going to do with this boat is all of my boats are hunter green. So what I'm going to do from the gunnels down, I'll be painting it hunter green. The inside, I will paint the seats. The rest of it I'll leave just as you see it. I'm probably going to put a piece of wood on top of the seats, only because they are aluminum seats. And what happens with aluminum is they become extremely hot to touch. So by putting a wood layer across the top, I will stain it up so it will last. That'll take care of that being too hot in the sun. You know, the other thing I'd like to talk about when it comes to stuff like this and little projects, I do them quite often. One of the reasons I do them is things are changing. And as you've probably picked up in my channel, is a country boy will survive. I firmly believe that. I rely on my skills as a country boy and as a woodsman to get me by in a lot of situations. But in the country right now, things are changing. Sun is right in my eyes this morning. But in the country right now, things are changing. And I'm not quite sure. I believe when we're all said and done, we will come out of this and be stronger than ever. But right now, we're just going through a rough patch. But what does that mean to a country boy? What does that mean to a woodsman in my lifestyle? Well, one of the things it means to me is things are going to be different. Maybe for a year, maybe for 2 years. Who knows? Maybe longer. But one of the skills that is really good to have is a bartering skill. You know, money could be worthless here for a while. If they get your way, who knows, you know. But money might be worthless, and maybe things you have to barter with are more important than actual green dollars. This is a nice barter thing. In this state, any day of the week, that's a $500 boat. And all I need to do is clean the crap out of it. I will put on a $10 can of paint, so I'll have $10, $15 in this boat at the most. And that's a $500 bill sitting there. So you'll see I have quite a few boats around here and trailers. And then you put on a motor on the back. You know, over the years I have collected 8 horses and 5 horses and just all kinds of little motors. You put a drop of motor on there, and now you've got a $1,000 boat, or you got a $1,500 boat. So this is a really nice piece of equipment. It's kind of like I said earlier in the video, this is kind of like money in the bank. And it's not just with stuff like this. You can do it with dog sleds behind snowmobiles. You can do it with old snowmobiles. Any kind of sporting equipment in this state. Anything you can sell for $300, $400, $500 usually goes pretty fast. When you start getting up to around $1,000, then it might take a little longer to find the right buyer. But you can sell just about anything. So keep that in mind as things progress around here. You know, who knows where we're headed. Maybe bartering will be a thing that would be of a useful skill, along with the rest of the skills that we're always pushing on this channel. They're just natural skills that, for me, they come natural anyways, but sometimes you just got to think outside of the box. You know, especially maybe here in the next year or so, who knows. There's the interior of the boat. As you can see, it's in nice shape. Nothing wrong with it. Like I said, all it needs is a quick coat of paint over those seats, and that will make them very much nicer. Getting harder to do the video. The sun is coming up brighter, and I just don't like videos that are done in full sunlight. I will be putting a piece of oak plywood, not oak plywood, a piece of oak across here for my transom. It has just a small piece of plywood in here right now. The oak transom will be 1 inch thick by the whole width of the boat. Right now they've only got it about a foot. This piece of oak, I will be staining it with a homemade stain, and I'm going to do a video on that. It's old school, very old school. What I do is I take used motor oil and a little bit of kerosene till I get the consistency that I like, and that's what I use for a stain. There is not a piece of wood that will rot out if you have it covered with used motor oil and kerosene. Trust me on that. There's also a piece back here on the back of the boat. I will be replacing that with a piece of marine plywood, and I will be treating that also with used motor oil and kerosene. So I will definitely do that video, because that's an old school trick that, where times are getting kind of screwy right now, that might be one of them things that you might need to know. It's always been good for me. Here's some of the other things that was inside of that boat that I could use. Now I'm getting ready to build a new fish house for next winter. This right here is the burner of one of those gas stoves. With all the parts that are here, I can turn this burner into a propane furnace without a whole lot of work. So that'll make a nice furnace for my my fish house. And the other thing that was in here is the grate. This right here can go back in the boat, and anytime I pull up to shore for a shore lunch, I've got a grate for my building a campfire. And as you can see, there was a couple of duck decoys. The cover of this thing will become part of my kitchen. I like to put a cover over items that are cooking on the campfire. So probably these two pieces and that cover will go hand in hand for shore lunches, or either in the boat or on a four-wheeler. But these things here was in that boat, so that just makes that deal just a little bit better. And the other thing that was in that boat was a giant tarp. I would say probably 15 by 20, maybe 30. It's a good size one, heavy duty. I'm going to be stretching that out on the driveway here, drying it up, cleaning it up, and I believe that'll be the skin of my new fish house for next winter. I will bring you back once I've made the repairs and during the painting process, so that you can see how we bring this old boat back to life and turn it from a free boat into a $500 bill any day of the week. So it's getting hot, it's getting humid. I've still got a couple more projects to do here today. So I will see you in the next one.